Good evening, everyone. All right, this is a conference meeting of the City Council of the City of Orange Township held in Council Chambers, City Hall, 29 North Day Street, Orange, New Jersey, on Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024 at 7 p.m. Roll call, Councilmember Coley.
Present.
Councilmember Eason.
Present.
Councilmember Hilbert.
Present.
Councilmember Montague III.
Present.
Councilmember Ross.
Present.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Present.
And Council President Whitman.
Right here.
Also present, Tamara, the Deputy Clerk, Tamara Robinson, the Deputy Clerk, Chris Hartwike, the Business Administrator, Derek Brown has not joined us yet. Our Fire Chief is a representative from the Law Department, has not arrived yet. Marlon Towns, our Legislative Research Officer, Na Clements, our CFO. Police Chief has not joined us yet, and Tricia Scipio from the City Clerk's Office. At this time, we'll recognize a moment of silence.
Could this moment of silence be for Council President Mildred Crum?
And the mic. And the mic.
And Bishop Jackson's wife, Christy Davis Jackson,
Right, and
and the mother of the late Sheila Oliver.
Thank you. Please be apprised, anyone wishing to discuss agenda or general items shall sign their name on the comment sign-out sheet and be allowed to a maximum of 5 minutes to interact with the council. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 et set Sunshine Law has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, published in the record transcript on July 11, 2024, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. For matters of discussion, we have none on the agenda.
Mr. Bledsoe, would you like to, from the county?
Do I have a motion to suspend the rules to allow our county liaison to speak?
We don't.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second, Coley.
Motion to suspend the rules by Councilwoman Eason, second by Councilmember Coley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Just a couple of updates. I just was speaking with Councilman Coley. We're still working towards progress on the situation, the parking around Central Avenue. We did have an extensive discussion 2 months ago with the councilman and the business administrator. We're making progress, but we have not arrived to a solution yet. So I just ask that you all be patient. It's just a matter of having conversations with multiple individuals so that we can arrive to a mutual agreement or mutual understanding. Additionally, we had a meeting with the Fish and Wildlife Division of the state of New Jersey to talk a little bit about the overabundance of the deer population that is impacting, I believe, mostly the South Ward and other parts of the township. There were several options we discussed with the state. I will defer to the business administrator to talk a little bit about what we talked about in terms of possibly doing a localized hunt here. I personally don't believe that that is an option for a township this size because of the requirements of having the license, which will involve law enforcement and the proper permits to go in certain areas to actually conduct a hunt. So the other options was to possibly capture and some type of birth control options, but I'll defer to Chris Hartwike to discuss the options we talked about. There's also this issue around the geese around Orange Park. There is a contractor that the Division of Fish and Wildlife contract with that will come out and actually euthanize the geese that has become overabundant in the township. I just want to give you all an update on the progress. We just cut ribbon on 2 new fields in Monte Irvin Park. Thank you to the council members that were able or available to join us. It was a great opportunity to do that photo op and to provide 2 new fields to this township. We are continuing to make progress as it relates to the community center that's being built. There's just been some minor back and forth around permitting issues, but I'm faithful that we can arrive on some type of solution in getting that permit issue, and we're making progress. As always, I'm a phone call away to support all of you if there's issues, and I just want to give you a couple of updates. What we're doing around the county, there's the holiday lighting at Branchville Park from the hours of 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., Friday to Sunday, Wednesday, December 4th, Friday, December 6th to Tuesday, December the 31st. The closing dates, of course, will be Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It's free admission. And we would love for members of the township to take advantage of that opportunity. As you all know, we are in a cold blue because the temperatures have been really low. And there's multiple locations where we have places in shelter for those individuals who are less fortunate to have a roof over their head during this winter season. So if you have any complaints or any issues in this township, just let me know, and we will connect them with the appropriate people to get them indoors so that they're not freezing in the streets. Additionally, I just want to thank you all for being a great partner to us at the county. Sometimes we know that communications and wires cross, but I'm committed to strengthening our relationships and strengthening communication across the board so that we're all on the same page. And I would answer any questions that members of the council or the administration may have at this time.
Anybody?
Council President.
Oh, who's that?
Ladies
There you
first. Councilwoman Hilbert.
go. You sure? Well,
Okay, good evening, Mr. Bledsoe. I'm not quite sure if you heard what we heard, but recently this weekend there was an accident on Scotland Road, which is a county road. And you and I have spoken in the past about different measures we could take to make sure that it's more safe. I believe that we as a council, we executed as much safeguarding as we could. The council, with the help of my fellow colleagues, we made one of the streets a one-way. We made sure that the crossing guards have their gear, their cones, their lights, but we still need help with reducing that speed limit and also probably proposing maybe speed tables and more lighting in the area, especially at night. What would you recommend the best way to move forward to have a conversation with the county and yourself to see what we could do better for next year?
So thank you through your chair, Madam President. Thank you, Councilwoman Hilbert. I would love to set up something through your chair to the BA, and then we can have another conversation on our options of lowering the speed limit. Again, through government being this 3-tier marble cake, municipal, county, state,
Right.
it's just having a conversation and see what options are available. I'm not sure if it's universal across the board on all county roads that there's a specific speed limit. That's something I would have to do additional research on. So please forgive me for not being able to give you a direct answer. But I'm willing to do that research and get back to you to see, through BA, through the administration, what options we have for Scotland Road. So thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
Councilman Montague.
Yes. I've been, few concerns regarding Orange Park. There has been a 10-year cricket league in Orange Park. They've been doing it for 10 years. Looks like they're being displaced. I had a conversation with the Essex County executive the other day when we were in Orange Park. I just want you to put in your notes, he's gonna try to clear an area so they can continue to have that league. Because it's been there for, I don't know if anybody ever observed it, but it's been there for 10 years.
Okay. I will make a note of that.
Yeah, make a note of it.
And if Joe said it, then
He
we'll find
said,
a
we
way.
spoke about it, he'll remember.
So I have a concern about the intersection at the top of the park, or the bottom, whichever way you look at it.
Hickory or Oak.
South Harrison and Center Street, you know, where they come together. So I'm not sure if that's Orange or East Orange, but there can be a lot of accidents there, and I don't know if there've been a lot of accidents there. So can we look into putting like a traffic light or a three-way stop or something right there? Because people get confused sometimes, like you're supposed to yield to the person on the right, and they don't yield, and then you almost have a collision right there.
I'll make a note of that.
So I'll text it to you also. All right, thank you.
And Council President,
Councilman Ross.
thank you, Reggie, for your report. I didn't hear the final resolution. You deferred to Chris Hardwick
Yes.
regarding the deer issue. So, Chris, could you
So I've had
elaborate?
follow-up conversations with the representative from Fish, Game, and Wildlife. The administration's not supportive of the hunt concept, but we do want to pursue the sterilization program, which is the capture and it's a little more complicated than that, but that's effectively what it is. And it takes some time. You have to go through a whole process in order to be authorized to do the sterilization program.
If I'm not mistaken, there's a permitting process, right?
Correct.
And it has to be approved by this particular board, but then Fish and Wildlife.
So we have to go down that road.
Okay.
And I think just for pushing or to expedite that process, it's probably best to get a letter of support from your legislative leaders. So,
Council President, I'm sorry, you finished?
Yes.
Because I wanted to piggyback off
Councilwoman Hill.
of what you were saying. I just wanted to add a little input. Instead of birth control, can we please say sterilization? And also, I am not a fan of the local hunting. I think that's not orange. Also, what would be the option for us to relocate them so that it's more humane and they continue just in a different habitat, in
So-
their original habitat?
So under state law, it's actually illegal to transport deer
You can't
from one
catch them in the
location to
first
the other because of a whole host of things. Ticks, Lyme disease, things of that nature. So
Okay,
that's
so
not an option.
it just permits us to capture them, sterilize them, and then release them back here.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
As a
Councilman
Council
Easton.
President,
Councilman.
do you, to Mr. Bledsoe, just so you know, this week I got a call from a commissioner, and she's working on that same issue with the Scotland Road. So when she commences the meeting, I'll make sure we include, so we are not duplicating efforts, because we were trying to figure out, so we've already started a process to look at how we can slow the, and I rode Scotland Road between Central and Main. There's only one sign that says 25 miles per hour.
Okay.
So one of the options is to slow it down to 15 miles per hour, or 20. But the question we had is, I don't know, we were trying to get so, Mr. Hartwig, does anybody know, we're trying to find out, the accident happened on the corner of Main and High, right? Main and Scotland Road?
Yeah, 33 Scotland Road.
Yeah, that's that church.
Right.
So it's on the, what is that, the westbound side. And we're still trying to figure out how that accident really happened, because I don't know if it was due to speed, but there's some other factors involved, but I'm not gonna get into it right now. But just so that you know, we are putting together a team to look at that.
So we're making progress. So,
Yeah.
working with VA and to address some emergency demolition issues too. So my plate is quite full for Orange. So I appreciate you all. So we're working. We're going to keep pushing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Reggie.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Resolutions and ordinances to be presented at tonight's meeting are listed on the attached regular meeting agenda. If any council member wishes to discuss any resolution or ordinance, it may be discussed at this time.
Council President,
Councilman Ross.
Resolution number 50, 2024. We, ordinance, I'm sorry. We've been seeing a lot of these handicap parking ordinance coming before us. And I was looking at this one the other night, and this one says there is an apparent driveway associated with this property. So I went to the code book and I looked at the code, and in the code 200-118-1, number E, it says each applicant for a restricted parking zone in front of his or her residence shall certify on a form provided by the Department of Public Works that he or she has no driveway or garage accessible for use as a parking space. And I didn't have this before me one of the last times I mentioned this, but now I see it's in the code book. And I never seen a certified letter from any resident saying that they can't park in their driveway because X, Y, and Z. Okay, so I don't know why we keep approving this unless we, follow the code and have a letter saying why they can't park in their driveway.
I'll have a conversation with DPW and the engineer.
Thank you.
But Council President,
Councilwoman East. Council
these are on
President.
second reading, so what are you suggesting for this one?
Well, this is on second reading, and it was approved on first, as you're mentioning. So, I mean, that's up to the council. I'm probably gonna say no, because of what I just noted. So it's up to what you guys want to do. Because we're seeing a bunch of these now, okay? Every block is gonna have 10, 15 of these handicap parking spaces on their street, okay? And between me and you, it's very easy to get a handicap parking sticker, okay? Very easy. But the thing is, if there's a driveway, we need to know why these folks can't park in the driveway.
Council President, I do
Wait,
believe,
Councilwoman Easton, you done? You through?
Yeah, I was just saying, because this is on second reading, and I don't know, through you to the business administrator, I think we did bring this up when it first came down on first reading. We asked if somebody had an explanation, remember?
Yep.
So does that explanation override what he read in the code book?
So I think that if it's the council's pleasure, we should go back based upon the code provision and check to make sure that we have the letter or the certification. There was a representation that there are other people living there and therefore the driveway is not always accessible. So if we need a certification to that effect, then we should table this and get that or reject it. Otherwise, we should move forward.
But in the future, as these come down, that should be a consideration as to whether we approve it or not.
Well, that's
Because
why I
like he
said I would
said,
talk to DPW to
every
make
street
sure
can't
that they
have
do.
10 handicap spaces because that's not, for the other residents, that's not fair to them. I understand the disabilities and all of that stuff, but it's not fair that you live on a block and everybody, and you can't even park on your own block. So I don't know, I know Councilman Russell, I talked about this early in the week. Maybe we should look at the policy again and set some type of legislation that says how many handicap parking spaces can be in a block.
But Councilwoman Easton, it does state that they have to be a certain amount of feet apart from each other.
300 feet.
But I don't know if we've been adhering to that, though.
So these come to us already approved by the Department of Public Works. So I guess it's gonna go back to the Department of Public Works or the administration to find out, exactly what they're doing before they approve them and send them to us.
Right.
So I guess
That's what I'll do.
that will,
But that's why we put the engineer in place.
Right.
And the engineer is making the recommendation that we were going over what the engineer told us, that it was approved or not approved and the reasons why. So maybe we need to take a second look at what we're really doing.
Council President, if I may.
Councilman Coley, can I get to Councilwoman Hilbert and then to
Oh,
you,
yeah,
because she
yeah.
asked?
Yeah, sorry
Councilwoman
about
Hilbert.
Yes, just two parts, really. I do recall that it was stated that the person could not park in the driveway because there were multiple tenants or multiple residents in that one building, so it wasn't space. I do recall us always asking what was the reason if there was a driveway. Also, I would like to shine light back to the resolution. Was it a resolution or ordinance where the landlord had to provide? Remember, we did the amendment, the landlord had to provide parking for his tenants moving forward?
But I think that's two separate
Is
issues.
that, is that only for the multi-dwellings? Okay, so it's not for the two-family, three-families?
Or single
Okay, so also, we postponed permit parking for over a year. And I feel that this is almost one and the same, where we're taking parking spots from the general public. And we need to put a limitation on it. And I feel that the engineers should be able to give us some type of quota for each district, for each block, for each area, because we don't have that much parking for everyone. I don't want to take away someone's ability or right to have handicap parking, but it's absolutely right. The streets are crowded as it is. Carteret and Highland Avenue, they have changed tremendously the way that people are parking now. So I would postpone these because I've been seeing so many. I would postpone these until we could get an updated recommendation.
Okay. Councilman Coley.
Yes, Council President, also, I didn't mention this before, but there is a part where handicap parking spaces have to be recertified, I think every year or so, I think every couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that has been done on a regular basis by Public Works. I don't know, or whatever person or department is supposed to do that. Just go out and just make sure that these people are still in fact disabled, still in fact live here, still in fact alive. I don't think that's the case. I don't think it requires a whole lot to just pull out your file of handicap parking spaces and just once a year or one part of it, have you do it. Just send out a mass communication, just having people just recertify. The same way they do for food stamps and all the other services that that people get.
Thank you, Councilman.
So-
I think they do. I've spoken to Marty about it before, and Councilman Coley, we had some people that were deceased on our street, and they still had the handicap parking spaces up there, so we had to get them. It was like 2 or 3 people on our block, right?
I
And
went on Berryman Place.
so
But
could we get a
the
report?
family is using the parking space. I think that there's also one on Just Place.
So if we
So
could
some of them need to be taken down.
if we could
Hold
get a
on.
report.
Yeah,
It's
so
a work
I
in
think this was
progress.
a helpful discussion. I'll go back with some of the recommendations, and we'll address them in DPW and engineering.
So what is the pleasure of the council regarding this ordinance, where we don't have certification that the code says we need to have for this ordinance? Are we going to postpone it until we get the certification that there's a reason why this particular person cannot park in that driveway?
Well, I don't have a vote, but I'm willing to postpone it.
Okay, all right. But I asked, what is the council's pleasure?
I know, but you looked at me.
So we need a motion, right?
I make a motion
When we
to
get into the
postpone, when we
regular.
get to it.
When we get
Okay.
to the regular.
No problem.
All right.
And are you looking to do that for all of them? Because all of the ordinances that are on.
Right,
Yes.
okay. Anyone else with any other legislation they want to speak about? We good?
Have a motion
Yes.
to adjourn? Oh, sorry.
Council.
Yes. Council President, through you to the Law Department. Or it might not be the Law Department. It might be about Finance, 536-2024. For the additional funds, after they're asking for an amendment. Could you speak to that a little bit? Who could speak to that?
Councilwoman, this is for special counsel that we appointed with respect to one of our matters. This is just adding or requesting additional funds to meet those fees.
Okay, being that they went over their already agreed or voted on allotment, are they offering a different rate for these services? Or is it the same rate?
Well, these are actually as-needed contracts. You can't predict what the cost in litigation is going to be or the cost of an investigation. So there is a discounted rate for all municipal attorneys that contract with the city. We call it the municipal rate. But it's not like they overran a budget. We authorize their fees in increments so that we don't encourage them to spend an entire budget.
Okay. Thank you for the explanation, gentlemen.
Council President,
Councilman Ross.
just to piggyback on what Councilwoman Hilbert is talking about, I would like to, because we're seeing a lot of this where where you guys are asking for additional money for litigation fees. I would like to have a special meeting, to go over these litigation files to see where we are, the facts, any settlement demands, any, offers, and how much we spent thus far and what we anticipate in spending in the future. So I will approve this today, but, I'm not going to approve any until we have a special meeting as to, what's going on with these litigation files.
Yes, sir. No
So
problem.
if you could set
We can
up,
do that as soon as possible. I'll set that up as soon as possible.
thank you.
Council President,
Councilwoman
does
Hilbert.
someone else have to go? Oh, you looked that way. I didn't know if there was another person. I don't know if this is the appropriate time, but I also want to have another request from the Law Department. Could we also, I know it's at the end of the year, but could we also have an update on the Vos Apartments? There was an action taken against the Vos Apartments earlier this year. Could we also have an update in regards to the human rights with the day laborers that are standing outside on Central Avenue and Scotland Road? These are a couple of things that we spoke about this year, last year, including the permit parking. Could we also have updates for that in the next legal closed session?
Anything legal in nature, Councilwoman, you could always have access to in a closed session, so no problem. I'll make that as a note.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Attorney Montalis, would there be
It's Mike.
several,
This mic is hot apparently at this moment.
would that be several special meetings?
No,
or
we
could
can just do it
be
in one.
encompassed in
We can just do it
Okay.
in one.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Council President, just one more thing. While we was talking about parking and parking signs, and this is to you, Chris, I recall a conversation a while ago about there was no parking from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Those apartments on Main Street, I don't recall the name, across from Libretti's.
Main Street?
No, Central Avenue, I'm sorry. Did I say Main Street?
You mean
Across from
Bella Italia.
Bella Italia.
Oh.
Like, I know my food place.
Me too.
I was trying to
I
figure
can
out.
name it.
Bella Italia,
The
Central
Harvard
Avenue.
Printing Building.
There's parking along the side of the apartment building. Yes, diagonal park.
But isn't that owned by New Jersey Transit?
Say that again?
No.
No?
Didn't we talk about
We had this discussion.
taking those
about
signs down?
Changing, you have to change the parking regulation to take the signs down.
Okay. So that's on us, and we haven't done that.
Correct.
All right.
So Councilman Ross, you'll be doing that for the next meeting?
I believe we did. I saw something like that in the past. I believe we did. We changed the parking.
We talked about it. I don't know if we did.
I'll check to see if we did an ordinance. If we did, then I'll make sure that the signs come
Robinson,
down.
could we
If we
also
didn't,
double check?
then
Yeah.
I'll contact you to make sure that we do the ordinance.
Okay, thank you.
I make a motion.
Anybody else?
I have a motion to adjourn the conference.
Motion to adjourn the conference.
Second, Ross.
Okay, that was a motion to adjourn by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilman Ross. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
All
opposed?
right.
Meeting is adjourned at 7:31 p.m. This is a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Orange Township held in Council Chambers, City Hall, 29 North Day Street, Orange, New Jersey, on Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024, following the conference meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Councilmember Coley,
Present.
Councilmember Issa,
Here.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Present.
Councilmember Montague III,
Present.
Councilmember Ross,
Present.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Present.
and Council President Wooten.
Here.
Also present, Tamara Robinson, the Deputy Clerk, Chris Hartwig, our Business Administrator, Derek Brown, our Fire Chief, Garcia Montelis, our City Attorney, Marlon Towns, Legislative Research Officer, Niall Clements, our CFO, Vinny Vitiello, the Police Chief, and Tricia Scipio from the City Clerk's Office. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 et set Sunshine Law has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the record transcript and published in the Star Ledger on July 11, 2024, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. There are no minutes for approval, no department monthly revenue collection reports, no OPA reports. Council reports?
None.
No. Okay, there are no council reports. No communications and petitions. This time, citizen comments. Please be advised that members of the public wishing to address the council on any subject shall be permitted to do so during this portion of the meeting by indicating a raised hand, by signing their name.
Raise your hand.
No raising hands. When they should be by writing their name on the sign-up sheet at the table in front. To allow maximum public involvement, each speaker will have a 1-minute period to interact with the council and must provide his or her name and street address prior to beginning his or her remarks. Visual aids will not be permitted. Members of the public are reminded to be courteous and mindful of individual rights when speaking. Each person has the right to speak on any subject and is responsible for any abuse of that right. The city bears no liability for any comments made by any member of the public and reserves the right to remove any person engaging in obscene or disruptive conduct. The council will consider all comments and questions and respond if and when appropriate, which may or may not be during this meeting.
Norma Ward? Or West? I'm sorry? Wings. Okay.
You come right up
You
to the.
come right up to the mic, miss.
And you have to give your address.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Each and every one. I'm fine. I'm from 471 Hillside Avenue, about the parking. The reason why I cannot go in is because 463 have most of the parking. And then I noticed a week ago they're putting up a fence in the middle of the parking, so there is no way I can get in there.
You have
That's
it?
the one I'm talking about?
471.
Okay. I have no problem with that, okay? The thing is that the code says you have to get certification, a certified letter from your property owner saying why you cannot park in your driveway.
I think I hand that letter in. I am the property owner for 471.
And so you're talking about your car? You
Yeah.
can't park in your own driveway?
I just have an ease in, not a driveway. Most of the driveways on the other house, 463. So 471 can just go in and go up. Now you can't go in because they put a yellow line right in the middle of the driveway. So you can't even go in anymore.
So it's a shared
It's a shared-
driveway?
Is it?
It's supposed to be,
Yes.
I wouldn't say share, it's supposed to be just ease me in if I have to go in.
So you have an easement to get in,
Yes,
and they own most of the driveway?
yes,
Okay, so you don't really have a driveway?
no.
Okay.
And I think she mentioned they were putting up a fence,
Yes,
Where's,
so the permit should speak
Right.
to what's happening with this
You better
too.
have a permit.
and where's the
If-
property line? She needs to find out where her property line is.
Yes.
Was I at your house?
yes.
Yeah.
But wouldn't the engineer know? He
Yeah.
or she?
Only
Not
she
if they
provided
put
the
the fence out,
survey.
Without it- I mean, but if he goes to the house, he'll know it's a shared driveway, right?
Not
If
necessarily.
they, so he did say that, so they don't necessarily speak to the residents when they
Yeah.
go out.
I think you can tell something that looks like a shared driveway, but I think that what Ms. Williams is saying is that it appears to be a shared driveway, but she only has an easement
Okay.
and can't use the driveway all the time because most of the driveway belongs to 463. But you probably wouldn't be able to tell that by
Just
looking.
on site.
Right.
Okay.
You'd need to look at a survey.
Okay. So do you have a survey that you could give to DPW? Do you have a,
I'll have to look that up.
or a deed too? A deed will record the easement. It will be on your deed also.
Yeah.
It will talk about the easement.
Right.
So if you could get that to DPW or to the business administrator,
Okay.
okay, so we could,
I'll give you my contact information before you leave, and we can be in touch so that I can send somebody out to look at what you have.
Okay, thank you.
thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Darnell Gibbs?
He's in, oh, I was about to say, he's in the hall.
Darnell Gibbs, 50 West Market, Newark, New Jersey. I wanted to start off with oh, you want to set the time?
Excuse me, Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
You live at the county courthouse?
No, but that's the address that I'm going to use because, in fact, I'm protected by the Dante's law, and we had this argument back and forth, so I'm going to use 50 West Market.
No, you're not, sir. You're going to use your residence. I'm not really sure Daniel laws applies,
Alright,
but
so
you're going to use
14
your
Robin
residence.
Place, Irvington, New Jersey. How's that? Good enough?
If that's your residence, then it is.
Yeah, I own it. Sweet. Outstanding. Two things. I want to say, great job with the turkey drive you guys did. I think that was pretty cool and dope.
Could you talk into the mic, please?
I apologize. I want to say great job with the turkey drive you guys did just recently for Thanksgiving. For all yous that went, that was a great job. I like that. Also, I want to say great job to whoever put together the veterans lunch for tomorrow. Being a veteran myself, I appreciate that. Not a lot of
Hope to
people
see you
recognize
there.
veterans. I'll try. I'll try. I still got to work, right? The chief already answered one of my questions, but I'll still bring it up anyway. The MRAP thing with the tactical vehicle, I'm a big component of safety equipment for officers, being that I'm an officer and protected by Daniel's law. So I'm all for that. The only thing that I would just add is I would have liked to have seen that this had like an agreement with someone to do the service. I already talked to the chief about it, so we talked about the whole service and the parts. Sometimes you gotta wait a couple months for parts, big deal, so I'm over that one, all right? The one that I was a little confused about, I apologize. The one I was a little bit confused about was sorry, bear with me. 5382024. So within side of that resolution, it allocates $534,000 for a person just to monitor the project. So of the 1.3 million, I know that $500,000 for that person just to monitor it. But of the 1.3 million, does some of that money also include the construction? Or is it?
It's all the design, engineering, and the 538 is construction management.
Construction management. So the construction management is a group or is it just one individual?
It's usually assigned an individual from the company
Yeah.
who stays on site the entire time during construction.
Okay. And then my other question is, since the 1.3 million doesn't include the construction itself, I'm assuming there'd be another bid for someone to come in and do the construction?
Yeah, the project has to be publicly bid, and it's estimated to cost between 14 and 17 million dollars.
Okay. All right, that's good. That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
You good? Thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Ms. R10.
I apologize. I have one more thing. One more thing. I apologize, right? Because I'm going to talk about it every time I come here. How far along are we with the whole cannabis ordinance? And the reason I'm gonna ask about it is because, in fact, like I did the very first meeting, I came back from my deployment from Iraq. I asked about it, and the reason why I asked about it is because Jersey City, I believe at that particular article, they received something almost close to $400,000 in tax revenue. And I pay taxes here, taxes keep going up, and I feel like if we could sort of not necessarily speed the process along, because I want the process to be thorough as possible, but maybe if we could get some type of traction on that particular ordinance, that could help us as taxpayers a little bit more than just simply giving out these developers, tax abatements that doesn't benefit me or any other taxpayer immediately. So I just was curious about that.
So, Mr. Gibbs, the ordinance was supposed to be on the agenda in December, and it's been pushed to January because of other year-end financial issues.
And Miss Alice, no, I'm sorry, Miss R. Tennant, Miss Rachel Tennant.
Rachel Tennant, 461 Waverly Place. It amazes me, the pushback for people that need a handicap spot. I understand your position. You think people are just trying to circumvent the system in order to have a parking spot for themselves, a dedicated parking spot. But when you're disabled and you need it, try going for chemo and sick as a dog and can't find a spot. Try that one out, okay? Or you're hurting so bad that walking from here to there seems like miles. Try that one. I don't think there should be a lot of pushback, but I do understand your point, because what has happened, because we've lost so many parking spaces to development, is triggering people requesting. Maybe they didn't have to request before. Maybe parking was easy, but now it's not. So now they want to exercise their right. And I don't think it's fair, you're making them jump through hoops, get a survey's not cheap. Why can't someone take a picture, I don't know. There has to be a better way. For someone that's disabled, it's difficult. But again, I do understand. 538-2024. Is the staging area in Metcalf Park, is that where the staging area would be? And for how long?
In the parking lot, it's subject to approval of Green Acres, and it would last for the duration of the construction period, which is estimated to be about 12 months.
Okay. And the last thing, the law firm that's handling the 492 Conover, I'm very impressed. I read almost all the papers. I'm very impressed.
Thank you, Ms. Tennant. Alice Lane.
Good evening to council, administrators, to the citizens. My name is Alice Lang. I live at 400 Oakwood Avenue, and I have 2 or 3 things I'd like to speak about. I had a settlement that, a lawsuit that was settled in...
Point of order, Council President.
Attorney Montanez.
We're not going to discuss any litigation during citizens' comments or an open session.
Okay. You don't discuss it on the side either. I'm beginning to think that maybe there's some
So we're not going to
conflict.
discuss any litigation in open
I'm not
session?
discussing that. I was responding to the fact that I have tried to reach out privately from the last time that I was here. But also, the other thing I want to speak of, I'm tenant president for those that had questioned who was the president of the Tenant Association and whether I was liked or not. I am not in a popularity contest. I'm there to get things done. I would like everything that connected with the city to be settled so that I can leave and look back. I have reached out, haven't been able to reach the health department. I've reached out to code enforcement. We have no representation from council in our area. I have now lived in a building that was clean, and this walker isn't from the accident. I tripped over something, and it's easier than crutches trying to walk. In a building that has, I call them New York sewer rats, because the only place you've seen rats that size that are living on the property is on television. They're there, they're walking behind people that are coming in the parking lot from parking their cars. They walk around the buildings in days and nights. We have mice that I've had meeting with people representing HUD in the building, and while they're there, facing one way, the mice are running back and forth in the community room. While we're talking, I tried to put in a program to have breakfast for the seniors, and especially like a lunch in the afternoon for those that are coming from chemo and dialysis, because you are very tired. I never had dialysis, but I am a cancer survivor, and I know what it's like to be able to just to get up and walk from your bed next door to the bathroom, or when you have a child, to have them trying to sit so they won't become morose from you being sick and having someone there. But the mice have come so bad, aside from running around in the lobby and the bed bugs. I keep my walker, because if I have to wait for transportation, I'm not sitting on those chairs. You can hear the mice scratching in the walls. You can hear them running across the ceiling. The security said they're bothered by them running around at night, when they're there at night. One of the tenants had a problem, opened the door, roaches are coming out. She has bed bugs, and that's been an infestation that I have been talking to this city about. And people tell me that, well, our manager is close to the administration, which is why nothing is getting done and no one is responding. I've been very polite about it and respectful, and I am tired. And I would like to hear something from someone if something is going to be done about it. I am almost 100 years old. I am too old to start learning to live with vermin and filth. And the other citizens that are not as mobile as I am deserve better. And that's what I'm here to represent, and that's what I represent as a tenant association. Like I said, I don't care who likes me or don't like me. I do my job. I've worked for the State Department. I've lived abroad. I've worked for Newark. I've worked for the Board of Ed. I've worked for East Orange. And no one had to ask me to do my job, and no one had to come behind me to see if it was done. And I want the same respect, and my tenants deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lane.
Thank you.
That's it.
Is there a motion to close citizen comments?
Council President, I actually had a follow-up comment about that.
Yes,
First of all, thank you, Ms. Lane.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes.
It's a motion. We have to,
Motion to
backtrack.
close citizen comments.
But you didn't ask us if we had anything to say. We reserve the right to respond or not.
You do, but we're on the motion, so in order for you to speak, we would
So-
have to take that motion away.
do it.
Can we
Council
take the
comment.
motion back? I don't
Shouldn't
want
it
to
be
do it.
done during council comments?
I don't want to do it during the council comments because I want my 5 minutes for what I have to say. So I just wanted to respond to the citizens' comments.
So someone has to put a motion to undo what we just
Councilwoman
did?
Easton had put the first motion in, so she would just have to rescind.
Okay.
Or she
Councilwoman
wants
Easton,
to.
if you like to, it's up to you.
What?
To rescind your motion to close the citizen comments.
I need to withdraw it?
Yes, because Councilwoman Hilbert would like to speak.
Don't stare at me, I don't have to.
I'm not staring at you. If that's how you feel.
Don't stare at me, I don't have to.
Well, everybody's looking at you. It's on you.
Motion to withdraw, motion.
Thank you, Council President. Councilwoman Hilbert.
Thank you. So yes, I wanted to say thank you because it's not too many times that we do see the tenant association presidents or representatives coming in. And as she expressed, you know, she's a representative, she's a senior, but they're dealing with a lot of things in their building. So can we speak to what's happening in her building? Can we give her a recommendation on who she could reach out to tomorrow regarding inspectors, someone, just give her some type of response to show the people who are watching at home that we do care on their living conditions.
Councilwoman Hilbert, back during the summer, the task force was in that building. They were in there prior to the summer months, so I would defer to the business administrator. They've been there several times. They've been to the apartment about roaches. They've been to the apartment about bed bugs. So they have been in that building like several times. And just recently, yeah, it was back during the summer months, so I'll defer to the business administrator because he may have a report of what was said and what was done.
Sure.
It
She
is-
put you on the spot.
No, that's all right. It is
No,
true
it's
that,
not true.
that
No, I
the
mean it.
task force has been out there several times.
All right.
They've conducted inspections, they've served summonses, they've taken the building to court.
Okay.
But
Are
I
they
made a
still in
note-
litigation?
I made a note that I would have the task force out there again this week.
Okay, what will be your recommendation for the frequency of, like, the task force visits? Is it, because the council president mentioned the summer, so are we doing it like every quarter?
Well,
Or,
the task force goes out on request of the administration. So it's not a regularly scheduled inspection. I can put the code enforcement people on a regularly scheduled inspection. I don't know if that's done now or not.
is there a way that we can authorize to do a monthly inspection and then, kind of like how we did with the hospital parking lot, like we billed it to them because we had to send out the task force to do an inspection on their building to keep them under supervision until the matter is addressed.
Little different. So the hospital situation is, it was private property that we had to actually clean up. We haven't, and then we put a lien on the property. We haven't had to clean up at 400 Oakwood Avenue. We haven't put any labor or man hours into anything other than our statutory duties to do code inspections. So we can up the code inspections and we can up the summonses if they're necessary, but we can't bill the building for that.
Okay. I would like to talk to you about it later on. just so that we can move the agenda along, but I do believe that we need to have an aggressive plan of action. Thank you so much. Council President.
Council President, also, Mr. Howard, you didn't let them know that our health officer has been out there in numerous of towns and abated all around the dumpsters and to get rid of the rats and mice. So we also had more dumpsters put for the garbage, and it's been clean. Because I talked to some of the residents over there, that's a friend of mine who is always talking about things that's happening and things that's going on, but I just sit here and text the owner, so we'll see what happens, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Council Vice President.
Do we have a motion to close citizen comments?
Motion.
Go ahead.
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion to close citizen comments by Councilmember Hilbert, second by Councilmember Summers Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Council comments?
Councilman Montague.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Well, this past holiday, we had a lot of events. A lot of people was doing good for the city, like Mr. Gibbs said. It was very nice. A lot of giveaways. We really take care of our city, so I'm proud to be a part of that. So we have a lot of events coming up. Far as I'm doing a lot of events. Ross is probably going to talk more about it tomorrow. Was it tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes, tomorrow, December 4th, 6 to 7:15. We're having the landlord-tenant information seminar at the police station. So if anybody would like to attend, if you're a renter, please come get your questions answered. Find out what you can do. Maybe even the tenants association could show up and find out what you can do. So that's tomorrow. On Friday, December 6th, at 10 a.m. at 340 Thomas Boulevard, we're having a senior health fair. Okay? It's going to be all types of, different types of medical representatives there. It's going to be a great situation. So that'll be December 6th, 10 a.m., 340 Thomas Boulevard. And on the 12th, we have Let's Talk, the East Ward Community Meeting. It's going to be Thursday, December 12th at 6:30 at Bethel Baptist Church, 229 Wallace Street. 229 Wallace Street, Orange, New Jersey. Parking is available. If you're from the East Ward, come out and get some of your answers. We're gonna have different people there from the community. Please come out. It'll be a great thing. So that's about it. Thank you.
Councilman Wallace.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. Just want to say again, as Councilman Montague said, Thanksgiving was a great day. The city, the churches, the nonprofits gave out turkeys to everyone that needed a turkey. Nobody should have went without a turkey for Thanksgiving. I mean, thousands was given out, so I hope everyone was able to get one and enjoy Thanksgiving with their friends and family. Second of all, while at the League of Municipalities, I visited the Millennium Group booth, Chris, and I spoke with John Milligan, as you know, and he says that there are a lot of grants that we may be considered for, may have the opportunity to get, so please reach out to him and make an appointment to.
I talk to John once a week,
Okay.
at least,
All right.
and to his supervisor, Chris Sprague. So we're on top of the grants.
Absolutely, I like that. Another question for you, Main Street. As you know, PSNG just completed excavation on Main Street, and they patched it up. So there's a line going up Main Street right now. Are they gonna clean up Main Street and repave it completely?
It's
Or
my
what's the
understanding
plan?
that they're coming back in the spring, that they didn't want to do the paving job in the winter. So they're patching it. They'll come back in the spring and do the paving job,
Okay, great.
just like they did on Central Avenue.
Okay. And as Reggie said from the county, our county liaison, we had a ribbon cutting last week for the 2 baseball fields at Orange Park. It was a great event. Those baseball fields are beautiful, and I can't wait for the opportunity for us to be able to utilize them, you know, in the spring and summer. And also right now, they're working on the community center, and that should be completed very shortly. Couple of announcements. As Montague mentioned, East Ward Community Meeting, December 12th, 6:30 to 7:30, Bethel Baptist Church. Please come out. This is the opportunity for East Ward residents to express their concerns and issues as to what's going on in their ward. Also, December 7th, free expungement event sponsored by Assemblywoman Carmen Morales, Assemblyman Mike Venezia, and Mayor Ted Green. This is going to be at East Orange City Hall. Again, free expungement event, December 7th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Free expungement seminar. Tomorrow, December 4th, from 6 to 7:30 p.m., we're having a landlord-tenant informational seminar. Tomorrow, court administrators will be there, judges will be there from the New Jersey courts to discuss your rights and responsibilities as tenants, you know, what can be done, what cannot be done. I want anybody that is having problems in their buildings with their landlords to please come out, you know, express your concerns and your issues, speak to court judges and attorneys, and see what you can do to mitigate and to rectify your situations in your buildings. Okay, will be free sidebars for you to talk to attorneys and to court judges. And this is a great opportunity for you to resolve whatever issues that you may have. Let me see what else I have real quickly. Oh, tomorrow, and I think somebody mentioned this already, at St. Matthew's Church, Councilwoman Easton's church, there will be a Veterans and First Responders Holiday Luncheon, free.
I was gonna do that
to
one
all.
because we're responsible for it, Councilman Royce.
Excuse me?
I was gonna do that because that's one of the things I'm working with them on.
Okay, you can still do it, Councilwoman, all right? You can still do it. It's tomorrow, Wednesday the 4th at 12 noon, at St. Matthew Church. Holiday luncheon, and I'll leave it there so Councilwoman Easton could elaborate. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome, Councilman Ross. Council Vice President Easton.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Since you started it, tomorrow at 12 noon, my church, along with the commissioner from Essex County, will be hosting the Veterans First Responders, which is for police and fire also. Direct fire chief and police chief. I think it's posted up in the police department to come out for the 12 o'clock luncheon tomorrow. You saw it. I sent it to both of them, so it's for first responders and the veterans. They're preparing a lunch. We need you guys to come out and eat it. So, but I think you also have a funeral tomorrow, right?
Yeah, fill me in on that luncheon again, because I'm not aware.
It's posted in your police department,
Oh,
on the bulletin board.
What was sent to me?
It was sent to your police department. It's posted on your bulletin board.
Well,
St. Matthew AME Church, 12 noon.
okay, so what are you saying? Need a cop?
It's for first responders and
I'll
for
make sure I have
veterans.
police personnel there. But honestly, when we do stuff like that, it's better if it comes emailed to me, so I know what's going on instead of sending it to somebody who posts it or doesn't post it. So, just want to make sure
But
someone's
once
there.
in a while, just read your bulletin board, okay?
Nah, You can send it to me.
I don't know why y'all I don't know why. What is going on? Y'all ate your vitamins today? So, but we're looking forward to the veterans, and all veterans are invited, and we hope to have a good time. For your appreciation and just to recognize the service to our country and to us. I have one question about the health fair. When you guys do the health fair, do you make sure that they explain to the residents that they're in network or out of network?
Yes.
So they know that what service they're in or out? Because there were some issues with that with the previous one, but that's okay.
Right, and they're not a part of this.
Okay. I also want to thank all of our vendors and supporters who donated turkeys for the City of Orange to give away. I don't think anybody should have gone hungry because we had enough turkeys. I know I gave out turkeys in the North Ward so that they wouldn't have to travel all the way across town, but just to make sure that everybody had access to the turkeys and the condiments that went along with it. To our business administrator, Mr. Hartwell, can you give us just an update on 477 Chapel Street? I know you guys was out there today.
Is that the one that you emailed me on over the weekend?
Yes.
Okay. I sent out Public Works and Code Enforcement along with the building code inspector, the building official. They're doing a write-up to determine whether or not the building should come down.
Did we find out?
It's an abandoned building.
We can legally take it down?
Well, it's an abandoned building, so we have to talk to the law department about it. But if it becomes an unsafe structure and it's an abandoned building, I believe under the statute, the public official can actually declare it to be a nuisance to the public health, safety, and welfare. And then Department of Public Works would be able to demo the building, and then we would put a lien on the property.
Because I brought that up because I want the residents to know that it is not going to come down overnight, so it probably won't be until January when something is really done. By the time you get through all the policies and procedures and the legislation and the legalities, so that they won't expect something to happen like tomorrow.
Right, and weather depending.
Yeah, and weather dependent, because it takes time to make sure that we check to see if there's an owner, so we don't want to take down a house that we get sued for late and have to pay the owner for that house because we leave. So it has to go through the whole process. The other question I have, I was on Rioch Street the other day. What are we doing with Rioch? That street is so bad. I mean, your car, it'll tear your car up, go from one end to the other. And that's been like that for the last 10 years or more. Is there any, I mean, we do a lot of pavement, but we don't do the worst streets in the city. And we need to invest some money in the worst streets. Is it because that there's construction over there, you're waiting?
Yes.
But there's nothing we can do to smooth it out
Well,
temporarily?
we put a coat on it, I think it was a year and a half ago.
But ride through that tomorrow and see what you think. It's horrible.
I did.
And we got a new
Very
building
recently,
there.
and I don't disagree with you, but it doesn't make sense to put good money on something that within a year I'm gonna reconstruct.
So before we get a lawsuit, why don't we limit the use of it?
That we can do.
I think that's what we need to do. Because somebody's gonna go flying through there one night and have an accident, because it is really that bad. And I heard a comment, and I want you or our CFO to, everybody keeps talking about that tax abatements don't contribute to our bottom line. Can you just explain that we do get tax dollars from that help with the taxes?
So, I've explained this before, but all of the
We
properties.
need to do it 10 more times so people stop thinking that we're just doing abatements to do them and we get no revenue from it.
All of the properties that new developments have been placed on were either abandoned properties, rundown properties, or properties that were not generating sufficient tax revenues. Properties that were for sale privately, but still didn't generate sufficient tax revenues. if those properties had stayed undeveloped, they would have continued to produce tax revenues that were insubstantial in comparison to what our budgetary needs are. After the redevelopment, each individual pilot payment, the absolute minimum they can go is to pay the taxes that were already being paid on the property. And in almost every instance, the pilot revenues generated are hundreds of thousands of dollars more than the taxes that were being generated by the property.
And it does contribute to the taxes that we pay as residents. They help keep them lower.
Yeah, it comes in as a general revenue.
Right. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, to the constituents, the residents, the council, and the administration. I first and foremost want to say, Chief Vinny, yes. Can you enter the room, please? I was throwing all the hand signs, and I was telling you to stay here. You know we love your smile.
Thank you. Love being here.
Yes. So I first and foremost want to give recognition to our first responders, to those who keep us safe. I want to say thank you to you and your department for the Arrive program and showing up for people who are experiencing mental illnesses during the season. You and I spoke about it. We won't talk about the person, but you and I spoke about a person that you guys showed up for, and it helped that person tremendously. And they were able to get the help that they needed, and they're in a better place now because your team responded to them and took care of them and showed them compassion and understanding. So I just want to say thank you so much for leading that.
I appreciate it, thank you. And can I explain to everyone what the RIDE program is?
If you want to, yes, you should.
The RIDE program is, our officers are trained, critical incident training, CIT training, and what they do is they ride with the mental health specialist during their tour. And what they do is it's not just for mental health, it could be for addiction, it could be for homelessness. So we go to those calls or we just, show up on people and we speak to them and see if we can give them any assistance. And you know what, it's been working out fantastically, and we're gonna keep it going and continue it, maybe even expand it. But it's a great program that we have in conjunction with the Attorney General and East Orange, so that's available to our citizens. So we have that available too, and we're trying our best to bring more and more into the city to help our community.
Yes.
If you have it, just call dispatch, and they'll send. They say, having an issue, like.
Chief, could you say it into the mic so they could catch it on record?
If you have an issue with mental health or just you need a professional to talk to that deals in that area, just call dispatch and they'll send a unit over. So, and also if it happens at times that we're not there, you could leave your number with the dispatch or communications, and we'll have a follow-up when they're available again. Okay? So please, we have that available. If you need it,
Thank you so much.
Can I just interject myself? It's also, we also have the ability, we have a special needs registry, which is tied into the state. So if you have special needs or you have someone in your home that's maybe sensitive to light or sound, you can fill out that information and get it to us. It goes to the state and it in hand goes to the police department. So if there's ever an emergency in your home and you want the police officers to know, like, this may be a concern of yours. So we also have that registry on file too.
and that's correct. That'll come up with your address in our database, so we know how to respond. So even if it's something that we don't know, our officers are trained to respond in any manner.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Anything else?
No.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Okay. I would also like to commend the fire department, Orange Fire Department. They had a very busy weekend during the holiday season. There were a lot of fires. And I do believe a firefighter was injured in the process. So we just want to say thank you to them as well for keeping us safe. And we hope that the individual recovers swiftly And we hope both of our departments have amazing holidays. So thank you for considering Orange as your family as well and doing what you do best. Moving on, I want to talk a little bit about, are you going to restart me? Because I know there's like a lot. I just go with it? Okay. We went to the New Jersey League of Municipalities for training and conferences and networking, and it was a great time to just try to absorb all the information and the opportunities that our great state has to offer us. There, I was able to gather some more information regarding the ADUs. So we will be having a follow-up conversation about that pretty soon to talk about the ADU legislation, the Airbnb legislation, how that will affect our community, and then it will be proposed to my council colleagues so they can also put their recommendations before it is actually brought onto the agenda. I'm anticipating that it will be on the last meeting for January, but again, it'll be possible if we get as much participation as possible, just to make sure that there's not too much back and forth and that we can vote on something that we can all stand by. Also, the Wellness Wednesdays will be on tomorrow from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. We'll have a social worker there for anyone who needs any assistance. Signing up for Get Covered New Jersey, you need any translation, any documentations taken care of, resumes, job applications. We are available tomorrow at 170 Scotland Road in the West Ward. We are also going to start wrapping up our clothing drive. The clothing drive is going to end December 20th. We are still accepting blankets and any toiletries that you may have. We're going to start our distribution next week on the 14th, where we'll be giving out supplies and clothes to some of the neighborhoods and churches. Also, Girl Scouts, the next meeting will be this Thursday at Orange Public Library from 3:30 to 5:30. This will be the last meeting for any newcomers. So after December, we won't be able to open up the membership to any new young ladies in the city until August, September. And also, this Friday, there will be Remembering Rosa Parks. The ceremony will be at 6 o'clock. They have an amazing concert, and they're also going to be presenting their steel pan students who have been practicing twice a week. Local students from the community, they're going to be putting on a performance. So I hope everyone could come out and celebrate with us.
Where? Councilwoman Hilbert?
It is at...
where and who?
Yeah, hold on. Pull up the flyers. I'm going to start printing out these flyers. I should do what you did. Okay, so it's going to be... Sorry, I'm on, okay. Okay. Rosa Parks is going to be 421 Haywood Avenue. It's going to be at 421 Haywood Avenue. At the Haywood Avenue School Auditorium, yeah. Mm-hmm. So last year, it was right here off of Cleveland. So now they're moving it to Haywood this year, and it starts at 6:30.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Also, just to smooth everything out for the end of the year, I would want to ask the business administrator for updates on the Lincoln Lottery, parking lottery. Will we still be distributing notices and applications?
Draft flyer was circulated to me today. It'll be revised and finalized by Friday and handed out next week.
Next week. Okay, and also regards to the fire for the Rozzi, the old Rozzi paint store.
I'm going to make a statement on that in a few minutes.
Should I ask my question or you want me to wait?
It's up to you.
Oh, I was just going to ask, can we demo it?
We're looking at that.
Okay, just so that we don't have a reoccurrence. Okay, all right. In closing, everyone have an amazing holiday. I do believe we're going to be announcing when the next council meeting is going to be. I'll leave that up to our council president. But if we don't see each other in passing, I hope everyone is safe and enjoy their holiday. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Councilman Coley.
Council President, thank you.
You're welcome.
I just want to thank my council colleagues for always giving so thorough and detailed, I guess, reports as to activities and things that's going on around the city, and it leaves me very little to say. I never like beating a dead horse, but I just want to say that at my church, Bethel Baptist Church, Councilman Montague and Ross, they brought up December 12th. We're going to have the East Ward meeting, and I just hope everyone come out and have your questions and concerns answered. I'll leave right there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Coley. Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Okay, it's my time. All right, so I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone. This one was different from my family, but we made it. I honestly believe that holiday grief is one day at a time, and as you make it through the holidays, I'm going to assume it gets easier, but I know each day it gets easier. Shout out to Bella Italia, who knew? They did the turkey and the stuffing. So it was awesome, so we didn't have to deal with that. And with that being said, it's important that we shop orange. A lot of times, we see businesses go and we're trying to figure out why did they go, but did you shop there, right? So you may see me at Ashley Stewart on Main Street. You might see me at Libretti's on Fridays with karaoke. People always say there's nothing to do in Orange. There really is. You might see me getting my nails done on Scotland Road at Firerella's Nail Salon right at Haywood in Scotland. Or you may see my sons getting their hair cut at the new barbershop on Central Avenue, Elegance Barbershop. It's just important for me, for residents to see me spending money in my city, because I do want these businesses to stay. Tomorrow, I know you're having a tenants meeting. I just want to tell you that Attorney Grass did a tenants association or tenants rights meeting for me about 2 years ago. He was phenomenal, like seriously phenomenal. Just want to give you a shout out for that.
Thank you.
I have to meet with 749 because we had a lot of issues and they need my undivided attention. So I'll be meeting with them and Mr. Califani Allen just to go over what we've done so far and what still needs to be done with 749 Scotland. So I've been dealing with their tenant president with them. Council President, you brought up the intersection of South Center and South Harrison, and it's funny because I had a meeting with Claremont Terrace last week. We are going to look at legislation with, because they've been having a lot of accidents. So when you said, are there accidents, there have been, or near accidents, because they're coming out of a one-way. So I look forward to putting that together with them. They're getting a petition put together now. So that's awesome. Every morning I'm at the corner store on Argyle in Scotland, and it's still very hard to get out on Scotland. So we definitely need to put a mirror there so we can see. They put the red line. They put the yellow line in front of the store, but sometimes people still try to park there. And even if they don't, Scotland Road is like a high traffic area right there because you have people trying to get to STEM. And I'm trying to get to Haywood, which is a one-way in the morning, so I have to go up, we call it Snake Hill, in order to get there. But every morning I play Frogger to get out. Okay, 3, see, I got it numbered. All right, I'm a boy mom, so my 11-year-old plays on the City of Orange traveling basketball team. Their first game is gonna be this Saturday at Orange Preparatory Academy. There's 3 games. 6th grade is at 9. That's my son. He said he's going to dunk. Let's go with it, guys. Let's go with it. That's a big thing. I'm like, I don't think you should try that, but okay. 12 o'clock is 7th grade, and 3 o'clock is 8th grade. I'm not sure who they're playing, but I'm very happy that there are I'm at practice. There's boys running, and we have girls on the team as well. So there are a lot of youth doing something constructive with our awesome coaches. So when they say there's no programs in Orange, you can tell them that Councilwoman Summers Johnson told you that I have a real life human being on the team. And last but not least, living by the Veterans Hospital in Orange for over 45 years, it always made me sad seeing the vets on the bus stop, and it just, I don't know, it just, since I was a little girl, since I was 7, it's just, I just wish we could do more. I'm glad that we're doing the breakfast. I'm very happy about that, because after we did the parade, many vets reached out to me, and I'm like making sure, letting them know I sent them the flyer. They were very happy about that. But you just think about people that give up their life and are away from their families to make sure that we can sit here, be free, laugh, and and then it seems like once they're out, I don't know if we do enough for them. I know the family members in my family, many of them after they came home, they suffered with so many different things, drugs and just so many things. And I don't know, listening to the vets that are here, listening to Council Vice President, I'm just happy that you're working with the county and that they're going to be celebrated tomorrow. And it's December, and we do everything in November, but I feel like they need to be celebrated every day. So thank you for that. And December is Kwanzaa, and I think I was studying with my students today. I don't know if this happened before, but Hanukkah and Christmas on the same day. So I don't know what Council President is going to do. She's going to have, I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know how you're going to do that, but I'm sure you're going to figure it out, because I definitely celebrated Hanukkah with you, and there's a lot of rules and a lot of eat this and drink this and eat this and drink. Well, yeah. So yes, so we have a very diverse council. So I'm very happy for the holidays to be coming, and I just hope that with the Code Blue that we keep our homeless population safe. And I'm glad that I saw so many posts about all the turkeys that were given out. I think we did a good job. Thank you very much, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Summers Johnson.
Could I just,
Council Vice President.
there's two things I need to mention, and so that everybody knows. And Councilwoman Summers Johnson just talking about shopping in our communities, and I do a lot of that too. But even though I don't need to, but anyway. East Orange General has filed Chapter 11, so stay tuned. That I don't know what's going to happen with that. So, and we don't use that hospital because everybody goes up the hill to St. Barnabas. So, and they are right now, I guess, financially strapped. So if we can, I don't know what we can do to help them stay afloat, but they have filed Chapter 11. And I was in CVS in West Orange, and also Walgreens in Central Avenue. Have you guys shopped in there lately? Everything that you really need is on a lock and key.
Yes.
I was so frustrated the other day. I was like, I was going to get the manager, because I don't know what's happening in our neighborhoods, but you cannot even walk in there and just get the things you need.
Right.
And they don't have the personnel to even service you, so you gotta wait. Somebody unlock it, and it's just getting really bad. I don't know how we address that with the merchants, but eventually, I guess those stores will probably close, because I understand in East Orange, and we talk about that a lot, that the people just go in and just take whole shelves out, and nobody can touch them. They walk out, they steal. So I don't know what we can do to upgrade our neighborhoods so people don't think they can just walk in a store and walk out with what they want without paying for it. Because ultimately it hurts us. Because then the stores close. We don't have a drugstore. We don't have Walgreens in West Orange closed. So I think that's some of the things we need to think about and just try to uplift our community so they understand whenever they do something, it impacts the whole community. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Everything was on the lock and key that I needed. So, just food for thought.
Council President, I just want to piggyback on Councilwoman Summers Johnson. I am a vet, and there are a lot of services at the East Orange Veteran Hospital. I'm at the VA at least once a week. I just want to let any veteran that's under the sound of my voice know that services is at the East Orange VA. You just have to go there and ask. The first step is creating your online user profile through eBenefits. It's eBenefits, just Google eBenefits. and it will walk you through. They will ask you through this profile situation, they will ask you questions that you will only be able to answer to verify your identity. Once your profile is created, and then that's when you can begin to like really put in for any disability claims that you suffered while you was on active duty. You will be surprised on how meticulously the VA keep medical records. I had no idea, on how thorough they were until I started to go through this process. So if you are a veteran, and if you have any issues or problems, I will give you my personal cell number, 973-902-9287. Again, 973-902-9287. I will help you, walk you through e-benefits. And then also, if you need someone to help you just navigate just through East Orange VA, let me know. I'm up there quite a bit. I don't mind helping you, because that's something that all vets, if you have served and you got injured, where they've been physically or psychologically, they have a whole team up there for so many different things. You just have to go there and ask. East Orange VA, I don't know if we have vets here, but the East Orange VA medical service is better than St. Barnabas. If you go up there, they are doing constant upgrades, constant construction. They have the best of the best at the East Orange VA. And we have vets that travels 3-4 hours just to come to VA hospital. The parking lot is crowded in the morning. This is why I always have afternoon appointments so I can get a parking space. But, but they will have a shuttle to come pick you up. And if transportation is a problem, they will even, most of the time they will pay for a shuttle, to come pick you up. You just have to ask. You just have to ask. And like I said, reach out to me, and I'll navigate you through the process.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you, Councilman Coleman. Anyone else?
Yeah, Council President, before you close us out on council comments, I just want to make a suggestion to you, Chris, because each and every meeting almost, we're talking about pilots and tax abatements and that we're not benefiting from them. I think it would be beneficial if you could make a chart, as to what we was getting in taxes prior to new development, what we're gonna get, what we're anticipating on getting, and place it right out there in the hallway. And next time someone asks a question, because they will again, look in the hallway, and it's in black and white, because it's, I think people have a misconception, a misunderstanding as to what's going on with these pilots and that we're not benefiting from them. And we are, okay? And if they see it in black and white, what we was getting in taxes and what we're going to get in taxes, I think we can change people's minds. Food for thought. Thank you. Sorry, Councilman.
Oh, no problem. Anyone else? So this past Saturday was Small Business Day. So people who really know me, they know my Facebook skills are limited, but I learned how to make reels. So what I did was I went through all of Main Street that I could possibly go through, sitting in my mama's living room, and I made a reel of just about all of the small businesses within the city of Orange Township, and I asked people to send me businesses that I may have missed, and people did. So then I did a part 2, and I went on the city website and found a list of small businesses. And I say that to say, I want to put together a small business registry So whenever you come to Orange and you want to shop on Main Street, here's a registry. My only concern was when I started listing the stores that I visit in Orange on Main Street, they were all eating places. So it was Wawa and Alice's and Golden Crust and Inner City Cafe, and then I have the Pit on Central Avenue. So I can name food places like crazy. I don't know what that means about me, but it was Small Business Day in the city of Orange Township on this past Saturday, and I just ask that you go out and you support our small businesses. They provide services to our families. They are good things for our children to see us doing. It's an entrepreneurial spirit, and we have a lot of small businesses in the city of Orange Township, and I just ask that we support them. Other than eating places. There are lots of things going on in December, as everyone has said, and on December the 14th, we'll be having Coffee with Conversations. On December the 16th, we'll be having Kwanzaa celebration here in the City Council chambers. Councilwoman Summers Johnson asked that we have students sign up because we want them to do the program. On December 19th, we'll be doing pizza and politics. We have a very robust panel, and we are going to have students within the city of Orange Township come out, and they're going to be talking to various people about the possibility of voting for school board elections only starting at the age of 16. It's something that they do in the city of Newark. It's something that people have mentioned that they want to do in the city of Orange Township, but we want to have a conversation with those students and those adults. On December the 20th, this will be the fifth grandparents toy giveaway that I've done in the city of Orange Township. A lot of you know my granddaughter Elise is the apple of my eye, and I have a special place in my heart for grandparents, and I wanted to make sure that grandparents were able to give their grandkids toys during the Christmas holidays, and it may be hard for them. So I started doing a toy drive for them, and on December the 20th, we'll have grandparents up here in the city council chambers, and they'll be able to select toys for their grandkids. And then on December the 26th, we're going to have the annual menorah lighting in the city of Orange Township. So therefore, I told my mom I couldn't come home for Christmas because I have to do Christmas here and then be on Main Street to do the menorah lighting for the Jewish population. So as I said, there's a lot going on in the city of Orange Township. But I do want you to remember our small businesses, because, you know, they drive our city. And to that, B.A. Chris put up legislation about the iron gates coming down, and I think the due date is December 31st. So I don't know if we're going to reach back out to the landowners, the people who own properties on Main Street. I talked to a couple of them during the League of Municipalities, and they're aware of it. But that's just something to yes, for thought in the spirit of Miss Stewart, who's not here. And then one last thing, I want to say, whenever something big goes on in Orange, there will be someone to make a statement. And so for me, and I may be wrong for saying this, but if the statement doesn't come from the administration, the business administrator, the mayor, the law department, I don't think it's an official statement. So I'm going to ask B.A. Hartwhite to make an official statement about the fire that we previously had in the city of Orange Township. Somebody put it out on social media, and there were a lot of comments made to that posting. Some of them not so nice and some of them very negative, but I just want you to be able to do a official statement.
Sure. On Sunday, December 1st, in the evening hours, there was a multi-alarm fire that was responded to by the Orange Fire Department. They were subsequently assisted by several other departments. The building that caught on fire is the old Rossi Paint Building. It is now owned by the city of Orange as part of the assemblage for the ultimate construction of the Health, Wellness, and Recreation Center. The fire was a serious fire. It was brought under control by the fire department with assistance through mutual aid. The building is being evaluated for its stability. The public officer has been out, the construction code official has been out, and a structural engineer will be out. The cause of the fire is under investigation. There were fortunately no fatalities. The building was abandoned. There were some squatters in the building that were removed. For those of you that don't know, we sweep those buildings on a regular basis for squatters and empty them. So, you know, when I say regular basis, I'm talking at least once a week. We think that because it got cold and recently the heat was turned off in the building, it was disconnected from public service, electric and gas, and the water was disconnected in preparation for future demolition. So we believe that that may have contributed to the ultimate cause of the fire. But again, it's still under investigation. I'll answer any questions, and I know Chief Brown is here, and he can answer any questions that any of the council members may have.
Council members? No questions? All righty then. So I just want to say thank you to our Madam Clerk tonight, to Mara Robinson.
Yes.
She's doing a fantastic
Yes.
job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Not over yet.
Right, so we gotta get to the good parts now.
Okay. Thank you.
Ordinances on second reading. 43-2024, an ordinance to amend the Code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 200, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Section 200-52-1, handicap parking spaces for, 614 Argyle Avenue. This was tabled at the November 6th meeting, and the recommendation is to postpone. Do I have a motion?
Motion to postpone?
Second, Montague.
That was a motion to postpone by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilmember Montague III. On that motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Woodman?
Yes.
This item is postponed. Ordinance 50-2024, an ordinance to amend the Code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 200, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Section 200-52-1, handicap parking spaces, 471 Hillside Avenue. The recommendation is to postpone. Do we have a motion?
Motion to postpone?
Second, Ross.
That was a motion to postpone by Councilmember Summers Johnson, second by Councilmember Ross. On that motion?
On the motion, do you know when someone will be able to go out and see her property?
I'll send someone out this week.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, seeing no others, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
And Council President Woodman?
Yes.
Right, this item has been postponed. Ordinance 51-2024, an ordinance to amend the Code of the City of Orange Township, the City of Orange Township, Chapter 200, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Section 200-52-1, handicap parking spaces, 477 Hillside Avenue. The recommendation is to postpone.
Motion to postpone?
Thank you. Have a second?
Second, Ross.
There was a motion to postpone by Councilmember Summers Johnson, second by Councilmember Ross. On that motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
And Council President Woodman?
Yes.
Okay, it's been postponed. Ordinance 52-2024, an ordinance to amend the Code of the City of Orange Township, Chapter 200, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Section 200-52-1, handicap parking spaces, 26 North Jefferson Street. The recommendation is to postpone. Do I have a motion?
Motion to postpone?
Second, Hilbert.
That was a motion to postpone by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilwoman Hilbert. On that motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley.
Yes.
Councilmember Eaton.
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III.
Yes.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Yes.
And Council President Wooten.
Yes.
These items are postponed. We have no ordinances on first reading. Consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence of the agenda. Were there any resolutions that you choose to remove from the consent agenda? I see none. The consent agenda consists of resolutions 529, 530, 531, 532, 533, 534, 535, 536, 537, 538. Yes, and 538. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Motion to adopt?
Second, Montague.
That was a motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilmember Ross. On that motion?
Montague.
Oh, I apologize. That was a motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilman Montague III. On that motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
And Council President Eason?
Yes.
Consent agenda pass. Okay, council members, we do have a walk-on resolution for tonight. This is going to be resolution 539-2024, walk-on, a resolution for the transfer of appropriations. Was there a motion to walk this item onto the agenda?
Motion to walk on?
Second, Coley.
That was a motion to walk on by Councilmember Summers Johnson, second by Councilmember Coley. On that motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Eason? I'm sorry, Council President Wooten.
Yes.
Okay, this item has now been walked onto the agenda. 539-2024, walk on, a resolution for the transfer of appropriations. Was there a motion?
Motion, Coley.
Second, Summers Johnson?
That was a motion by Councilmember Coley, second by Councilmember Summers Johnson. On that motion?
Good evening, Orange. Sorry for the walk-on, but this is a standard procedure when we get to December. We're working to close out the 2024 year calendar budget. It is time sensitive, and our payrolls tend to fall late. So this is us doing the forecast, making sure that there are funds in every line item, and there will be a walk-on for the second December City Council meeting as well, because our last payroll falls on December 27th. So we need as much time as possible to forecast accurately to ensure there are no over expenditures. If you have any questions, I'll take them at this time. Thank you.
All right, do we have any others on that? Okay, seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley?
Yes.
Councilmember Eason?
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III?
Yes.
Councilmember Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten?
Yes.
Okay, this item is passed. Was there any other new business or pending business?
You got business? Go ahead, President. I was going to say motion first. You sure? Go ahead, Council President. Do your thing. Don't let me stop.
I just wanted to let everyone know that the second council meeting will be on December 30th. Not the 17th. And so the clerk's office will
Is
put
it online?
the appropriate, they're gonna.
Yes, we will update the
They will
website and
update
put out
the
the
website.
appropriate public
Virtual?
notice.
Say virtual.
And it is gonna be a virtual meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Council Vice President. Yes, ma'am. All right.
Bless you, Council President.
Thank y'all so much.
All right, thank you all. Was there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second, Montague.
right, there was a motion to adjourn by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilmember Montague the third on that one. Sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We meet adjourn at 8:50 PM. Have a good evening.